Okay, well, the trouble in Tiger Town continues with Luke Brooks hitting out at the club bosses for leaking inside information. The embattled half also made the stunning declaration that Adam Doueihi's best position is 5'8". Take a look.
Well, I played. I guess it was just, stuff sort of coming out from the club that it's pretty disappointing that people in the club tend to leak a fair bit, and obviously without myself being spoken to and seeing it in the news was pretty frustrating. But it was all cleared up, and in the end I was playing, so it was all a bit of a storm in a teacup, I guess. Obviously it's a big decision for me, and I've got to have a think about what's best for me. I think a lot of the time I've probably haven't put myself first with these decisions, and when the time comes, I'm going to sit down and probably be selfish with my decision and do what's best for me. Exactly right. If anyone was in my shoes, they'll sign that contract as well. So, if the club's willing to give it to you, then play on. I guess Adam's named at centre, so I don't know. Wherever I end up playing, I'm just going to do my best for the team, and obviously I think Adam's best position is 5'8", so that's going to be up to the club. They're going to have to make a decision there, and we'll find out.
Yes, a frustrated Luke Brooks speaking up for himself today in the West Tigers press conference. A couple of weeks ago, speculation he was about to be dropped. All of a sudden, they pulled the handbrake on that and said it wasn't true. But now openly admitting that there's someone at the club leaking information that is not helping the joint venture.
Yeah, good on him for saying it, Luke Brooks. I really admire the fact he came out today and addressed it the way he did. Fact is, he was dropped. He knows that. Everybody in the club knew that. It was only after it leaked that the club, in its wisdom, panicked and reversed the decision. Luke Brooks is at a club where it leaks often, and there's always these little huddles in the corner after something leaks. Who's doing this? Whose fault? Who was the one that leaked this one? There's constant little inquiries about why these things are getting out. The club leaks like no other club in the NRL.
Can he seem entitled to be having a crack at his management?
Absolutely, yes.
Why is he?
Because of the way they're treating him. Yeah. Because the way that they're leaking stuff about him, Buzz. Like,
I look at it this way.
He hasn't got a friend there at the club in the administration level. Like they pretend he is, but the way they treat him, they don't behave like they do.
He's a very highly paid player.
So?
On big dollars.
He's still entitled to respect.
Who hasn't aimed up.
He's still entitled to respect.
For one reason or another. And then do it... I think he was having a crack at the management there.
I think it shows a level. He doesn't trust anyone that's walking the hallways there at the West Tigers. And if the players don't trust who's in charge, it just shows you the disconnect that's happening at the club. And we see it week in, week out with the leaks. There is no secret. The leaks are everywhere. But for a player now to shine light in those murky areas and go, hang on, we know that this is coming out of this club, and it upsets us.
100%. He's called them on it.
But I would rather Luke Brooks put his energy into playing good footy.
Come on.
I would, can't he?
He's been copping it for 4 years.
Maybe
from the back blocks.
The wear and tear of the last, how many years has he played for now? Nearly 10 years, hasn't he? 11 years. And he was the next biggest thing. He was the next Andrew Johns.
Dally M halfback of the year.
But it's no coincidence that he's had no success and he's gone backwards at the West Tigers, as every other player pretty much has at the place. So maybe he's taken a swipe. After all this time, he's had enough. He's like, well, you know what? It's not on my fault.
Yeah, but you know what? When you're on $1 million a year,
but the money's irrelevant.
No, but
when you're that age and you've come through the system, and whether it's $1 million a year, 1.2 a year, or it's 800 or 700, he's still well paid. He wants to be happy, but he wants to play well.
He's not happy, so he should go somewhere else. He should walk in.
I agree with that. At the end of it, at the end of the day, he said the next contract. It'll be about making himself happy.
He should do it now.
Doubt he'll leave.
He shouldn't wait and play next year. He should go.
No, I agree. I agree.
He tried and they wouldn't let him go.
That was to Newcastle. Yep.
They wouldn't let him go.
Well, that's another point, right? So maybe he's frustrated with that. He wanted to go to Newcastle. They wouldn't release him.
He wanted to go to Newcastle. Newcastle wanted him. Went to the club where he didn't feel like he was being properly respected. Which for reasons they then underlined. They went and showed by the way they leaked the other day when he had been dropped.
I thought it feels like an eon ago that we were talking about the Big Four. Do you remember at the West Tigers? And how different their journeys have been since that all went down. And Luke Brooks is the one that stayed. And it's really sad because he's had a stale patch now with his own form, and you can see he's frustrated. Maybe he does need a fresh start.
Will anyone take him? That's the question.
I think they will
at
for
the
sure.
price.
Look, the Dolphins need a playmaker. They should send him up. Peter O'Sullivan, Wayne should sign him now. He can play. We all know that.
Of course he can play. Yeah, well, Wayne would probably be good for him.
Yeah, I'd
he's
love to
struggling
see
with his
him go to the
confidence.
Dolphins.
Wayne would be good for him like he was good for Jamie Soward.
Yeah.
Jamie Soward was often
similar.
a maligned player himself,
Yeah.
and Wayne just got in and calmed the noise inside his head and got him just focused on what he could do and won a grand final
And
out of
Ben
it.
Hunt is very similar as well. Around
Yeah.
that.
I support. Good on Luke Brooks for doing what he did.
He's been hammered so much.
It's about time someone at the club called at the playing group at the club called bullshit on what's going on there.
Agree. Now, he wasn't the only player that was a little bit outspoken. Adam Doueihi, apparently, James Hooper broke the story on the Fox Sports website that Doueihi wasn't happy playing in the centres, demanded to play 6.
And there goes example A of the club leaking. So Doueihi was not happy about playing centre, which is completely understandable when you consider the fact he's the best player in the team. His best position is 5'8", and they've picked him at centre. And this idea that they're going to play all the Hastings, Brooks and Doueihi all together.
But as soon as they signed Hastings, this was always going to be trying to fit 3 into 2.
Well, we all were told Hastings was going to play lock Vonnie too.
That's
Or
true.
hooker.
Yeah.
Or 14.
Yeah, but he was going to play that role.
yeah.
So it was, and 6 and 7 were always going to be Brooks and Doueihi. And now Dewey's called Kamali and told him basically, look, I'm not happy playing centre. My 5'8's my best position. Whether a player's got entitled to do that's another discussion for a bit later. But Sheensy called him and said, listen, mate, sleep on it. Just go away and have So he's woke up the next morning and he said, OK, I'll play at centre. But he's still not happy. Now, it'd be very interesting to see what happens next week, what the
Do you
selections
think the
are.
players have got too much to say? Like, they're not they're not high up the ladder, Kenny. They're going off.
I think what's happening at the moment is there's no head coach.
There's
So
no
all of a sudden
leadership.
they've found
There's
a
no
voice.
yeah.
All of a sudden they're thinking, you know what? This is the time for us to tell these blokes what we really think and feel.
Because there's no boss.
That's what I mean.
There's no one in charge.
That's
Well,
what
Tim
it feels
Sheens
like.
is the boss.
Also tends to happen in
General-
work environments, so where the employers are getting paid more than employers, which is what's happening. They're all getting paid more than Sheens is and what Brett Kamali is as the interim coach. And I dare say some of them were being paid more than what Michael Maguire is. And that's the imbalance that's there.
Adam Doueihi is playing this weekend in the centres, I believe. So he did backflip on that. And he's decided to play.
He's made
so
the decision.
He's
but
made the decision.
I don't believe it's a permanent decision. I believe that it's under review, which is why I said it'll be interesting to see what happens next week.
Another review.
Well, it's under review by
like
Doueihi how long he cops it for.
Yeah.
He should be 5'8" sooner rather than later. He's coming back from that.
What do you do though? Who's your 7 and who's your?
Oh, it's not. Are we going to go there again?
No, I think
rather.
they've tried everything. I'd stick Jason at lock, hooker or 14. Jackson Hastings, sorry.
I was wondering. I thought
Try-
new player then.
No, sorry.
Sheensy, Buzz, is he going to coach?
Look, I think if he was asked by the West Tigers management, and I'm waiting for them to do something about it, he's got support from Benjis, which I put in the Telegraph on Monday. Ricky Stewart likes it. Mal likes it. Laurie Daly likes it, who's on later, and we'll tell you about that.
But does Sheensy like it? Does he want it?
I think he does, Ron.
He doesn't want to admit to it that he likes it.
Well, he hasn't been asked. And it's really up
Where
to...
did it come from then, Buzz? Who's the first one? Where did this idea germinate that someone, hey, let's make Sheensy the head coach? Where's that come from?
People around him, people close to him. What do you seem like you're trying to get something out
Very
of me.
innocent question, Phil.
No.
Didn't we ask Sheensy when he was on if he would coach?
And he said no.
Yeah, but I think you'll find it's different privately. He can't say, yes, I want to coach, because he's supposed to be interviewing other coaches.
Yeah.
But what the board can do is short circuit it and say, Tim, is this true? You do want to coach? There's support there. Ever since it went public that he was interested, it's the best media they've had for a couple of years.
It's
Which
looking
should
like
be
the best
significant
option.
for them.
I think it's looking like the best option. Sheen's coach.
Short-term
if he gets-
mentor Noddy or mentor Robbie. I don't care who he mentors, someone young.
Benj.
Benj.
Benji wants it, doesn't he?
Benj.
He said
Do you
that.
Benj would be
Benji
an
wants it?
amazing coach.
He
He
said,
does
he
want
does, yeah.
Eventually, it's too soon now. He acknowledges
Yeah.
that. But Yeah.
He wants
He's
some
busy man, Von.
He's
TV
got
Nothing Benj
shows,
can't do.
360.
fingers in all the pies, Benji. He's one of the best.
It would be such a great
going
fit.
he must
in
be
so
going
many
as good
ways.
as you.
He's going better than me. No, he's got his own show, Buzz.
Everyone-
He's got a helicopter.
He's got helicopters. He's got everything now.